Hey everybody, it's Steve and Tammy from 2P, 4D, and one van. That's 2 people, 4 dogs, in one van. So anyway, it's what, third video?
This will be the 6th.
6th? Oh, we got, yeah, the one with the dogs. So anyway, left off, I pulled the headliner out of this thing and recovered it. I'm trying to get this thing to start peeling because I'm going to need it in a second. So anyway, come on in a little closer, hon. The seat's going to block your view a little bit. All right, so I put a layer of Reflectix up here and cut it and trimmed it, and it tucks all the way back in here. There's a nice separation here that they leave available between the panels where you can tuck stuff in. So I've got 3 sides. This back side won't tuck in because they got a filler in between the panels there. Now overhead, I used to have that amber strobe light up there that was on the van. I've removed that, and I've got a lead here, and I'll show you what's on the top side in a little bit, what I used. But I got a waterproof connection up there that's half of a plug on the end, a pigtail here, and I got it all shielded, and there's a rubber grommet in there, plus I ran that RV roof covering stuff in around it to seal it up good. So this is going to go up here, and what we're going to attempt to do is run a piece of tape right along this seam, and that'll all sit underneath of the headliner. So we're going to peel that off as we go and stick that up. Now if you're looking at this, I've got a habit of using old leftover rejected lids from plastic containers, you know, storage tubs that break or they split, or I don't even have the tub anymore. I don't know where the hell it ended up, and I got a lid laying around. I end up with twice as many lids as containers. So scrap lids that don't belong to a container, they come in handy. They're real nice for that. So the reason I put that there is because that's metal, and I got a panel in that headliner that I installed with wire connectors across the back that are going to go, they'll end up against that metal roof if I don't protect it. I don't want it rubbing through and shorting out up there against the metal. And so I decided I would put this here for an added protection to insulate it from the metal. So this lead will hook to the junction box, to the panel, switch panel, as well as these 4 leads that go to the side lights and the one in the back, or will in the future. And we got one connection here. For the life of me, I don't know what this goes to yet. It runs down under into that rat nest up under there that the previous owner did, the city of Fort Lauderdale, and I'm not sure what it's tied into the wires that go to the interior light, and I'm not sure what it was doing. So I'm going to hook it back up because I may find underneath there that it actually goes to something important. I'm not sure. So anyway, and plus there's a harness coming off of that panel that is going to run down here with all the leads on it. So anyway, we're going to seal this up. I got my buddy Jeff here giving me a hand, mainly because, you know, dealing with these panels overhead, they're not heavy, but daggone if they aren't a obstacle and challenge to fit up in there and work with. You know, you're trying to connect things and maneuver them and get them in place, and you're doing all that at the same time trying to hold that thing up, and it gets to be a little bit of a challenge. Now this tape here is actually made by Reflectix. For these kind of things, especially with this stuff, you know, when you're dealing with these things, you don't want to have problems later. Not that this is going, because this, if it fell down, it would just fall down on the back side of the headliner. But still, if I was going to pull the headliner out again, it'd be nice if these stayed out of this thing, stayed up there and didn't fall down and get in my way. So we're going to tape this up. We're going to get around that wire. That's going to be a little bit. All right, there we go. All right, so this lead goes back up along here all the way to the back. This one is going to tuck up under the headliner. It goes down there into the front corner of the dash. All right, this is where it gets challenging, Jeff. Now, here's the headliner. We recovered this thing. I made a few errors. It's the first time I've recovered a headliner. Last time I did a headliner, it was on a 64 Impala. And it doesn't use a headliner or anything like this, so this is a new experience for me. All right, let's see. That goes over to that side. This thing is just gonna tuck up in there, and it's a whole bunch. The sides are really what's going to go in, Jeff. It goes above this panel and that windshield corner trim. See it up there? Sits right, yeah, like that. All right, and then get everything around where it goes. That's going to drop down that corner. That is going to come up here. All right, now, before I put my side up, we've got to make some connections here. All right, got to drop that down. There is, where's it at? There it is. Ground that's got to connect there. These three have to go to switches. That goes on to one switch. That's going to be one of the side lights or rear lights. And here's another one. I got 3 leads for those 3 lights. All right. And this one here is going to go to. Oh, wait a minute now. Drop that down. Just there we go. Get in here. All right, that's going to go right there. Come on. Come on. Stop being stubborn. There. All right, and then off of this one, which is the front light, that's going to go to this switch right there. And this has to connect to a ground right there. Right, so that's going to connect to that one. I spent too much time standing on my feet in the garage last night building this harness and putting this all together. I injured my back real bad in 2012, and standing on hard floors is a little rough on me. All right, let's see. Oh, I got one more. Hang on to it, Jeff. I got one more connection right there. Got it. All right, now that's going to go there. This goes up there. That's it. There we go. All right, now we got to get over this lip here. Where's that baby at? Right, yeah, we'll just do it that way here. Pull that down. Push that up. Oh man. Rough on old man. Alright. Now let's see. This has to go. Where's the, there it is right there. Keep that wire out.
Would it help if you opened the door?
Yeah, maybe.
Give you some air at least.
Yeah.
100 degrees in
I got
here.
my hands full at the moment. Right. Let me get that right. Yeah. Right, so that goes. Oh, man. Alright, so that goes. Let's see right there. Oh, you stubborn little bugger. Don't fall down on me. Let's get out of here.
Watch the wires.
That's one of the problems with being too damn tall. Whew. All right. I think I got it. Yeah. You got the trim on your side for that post. The trim over here I've got in the garage. I put a switch panel on that too. Okay, so next thing to do. Let's see here. I need visors. I'm going to teach everybody something here too if you're going to start one of these projects. These things right here. Whenever you got a baggie that's, you know, a sandwich bag or something like that that's fairly clean, but you don't want to reuse it in day to day, save that thing, because they are great when you're doing one of these kind of projects to sort your nuts and bolts and fasteners and things. So, you know, I got my visor and
Your arm's okay, Jeff?
sorry, buddy. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Where is what I need? Yeah, we'll put these back clips in, and that'll hold the back end up. The front won't be too bad then. All right, so these just push in, and when you go to take these out, you want to make sure and use a tool and that's made for that. Be careful trying to use a screwdriver or something, because it'll tear this thing all up. Actually make a tool set for working with this kind of stuff. And because what happens is this material is headliner covering is fuzzy. This stuff's even worse. What happens is you go and try shoving something under one of these and you'll snag that material and tear it for sure. All right, that's got the back end. Will that stay up? Yeah, cool. All right, so we can take the stress off of that. Now in the front here, the only thing besides the corner panel there like that, and there's one that I have in the garage that go up here, but across the front, what holds it up is the two visor clips and the visor. So the visor hinges out of here, sits across here, and there's a clip here that holds the end of the visor rod. So it's rough on a guy like me. All right, let's see. Closer, see if I can get a whoop in here. There it is up there. There it is. Right there like that. Then if you guys, any of you were,
Oh, popped
yeah,
out.
that's all right. I'll get it. Just being an ignorant little booger. All right. If you happen to see my the first video or the second video when I was talking about I think that was the first one. We were talking about taking all the interior out. I talked about these visors, and I mentioned that I took an oddball socket, and which is, if you're trying to find something that'll fit into these things, that you can get the socket to fit in there and fit the head of the screw, you'll be dealing with a little bit of a challenge. So what I found after using all the normal sizes, I discovered that that's a 5.5 millimeter head on the socket on that thing, which is extremely strange. Is that threading in there or not? Yeah.
Didn't you find that Harbor Freight had the best deal?
On what?
The socket?
Oh, no, this isn't, that was something else.
Oh, okay.
That was, Doesn't seem to be tightening up in there very good. Now, we'll deal with that in a minute. Alright. This one goes up in here. Huh. Alright. Well, let's do it this way. Boy, I can't hardly get to those. I think that's it right there. It don't look like the headliner's gonna have a little bit of a warp to it there, huh?
Right, because of those wires.
No, I don't think so. The wires are back here. It might.
Maybe once you put the visor all the way up.
We'll see. Oh, I can hardly get the socket on that thing. Man, it don't tighten up very good. I'm not real impressed with that. Oh, well, I can come back to that. Let's see if we can get the visors in. This one goes to this side. No, it goes on that side. Because that label faces up. You gotta, yeah. Alright. I think I got it. Yeah. Let's get them all started first, and then we can you want to tighten that in. I got this. Got enough room there? There you go. That's it. Okay, all right. So we're here. Get that other one. Whew, man.
Maybe open the back doors.
It's Florida.
Yeah, open the back doors. It'll
Yeah, maybe we can get some cross flow. You okay there, Jeff?
Yep.
Let me go open the back doors. Get some air.
Oh yeah, that makes a big difference.
There's a tip for you too. If you're gonna do one of these things, you're gonna work on one of these vans, get you some bungee cords, hold these doors open so they don't, a lot of them don't stay open and they swing back and hit you while you're trying to move stuff in and out and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I would suggest saving your baggies, you know, as long as they're not full of food waste or anything, or grease or something. And leftover baggies, and get you a pack of Sharpies, you know, markers, permanent markers, and label them so that you know where the hardware came from. Because throwing it all in a box and then trying to sort it out and figure out where it all goes is a waste of time. That's just non-productive. All right, buddy. You got screws there, or?
No.
Uh-oh. Here they are. We must have scattered them. I might have kicked them or something.
There's one.
You got another one? That's two of them. Three. Okay. Let's see if, oh no, that's not a visor screw. Oh, you know what? Those screws, I'm remembering now, those screws in the, those were Phillips head screws.
What, in the
For
clip?
here, in those, yeah.
That's why it ain't going in right.
Yeah, that's why it didn't. That's why it didn't match up. Where's that daggone hole at? Hi.
Doing good.
Hey, get that piece of shit out of here!
Hey, don't do that. Yeah, that wasn't very nice. Yep, there's another Phillips head. All right, so where did I put the other one? So I only got one of these. Here's the other one. That's the two screws, and the two screws that I need for this are up in there. That's
Okay.
why they wouldn't thread. They're a different size screw in those There's little clips. All right, let's see if I can find the. Turn it back this way, Jeff. Shit. Like that, maybe. Yeah. Get one started, and the rest of them will fall in line. Ah. I'm not in there. Ah. Let's do it this way. I can't get a decent sight on that one, but this one I can see. Like that.
Figures one would mess with you, the other one went pretty
Yeah.
smoothly.
Yeah, this one's being a stubborn little bugger here.
All right, well, while you're doing that, I'm going to pause it.
All right, yeah, while I get this up there. And then, actually, you know what?
2, 3.
Okay, so anyway, I mentioned in there that I used a waterproof connector. So I got these off Amazon, made in China. Yeah. Anyway, they seem to be fairly good. They fit together nice and tight, and they snap in like that. So I've got half of this. One of those, you see it sticking up out of the top of the van. You know, flip to that. All right, so this will be the other side of it. This will attach to my light that's going across up there to the bar light. So I'll have a waterproof connection that I can disconnect and take the light out of there. Come around here. I want to show them something. This is important. If you're working on these things, not only for personal safety, but for your wiring. Yeah, here. Let me show you something here. Where they spot weld these things, the panels, see that right there? That's metal. And that shard, that little piece, will cut your fingers. And even worse, if you run a wiring close to that, it'll cut the wiring. When I was doing this purple lead here, up along here, there was one of them sticking out. I had to take a little grinder and get in there and take that thing down so it didn't cut the wires. They a tip to all of you. If you're working around bare metal in these where the panels connect, watch out for those those little flashings. All right, so anyway, one of the handiest tools you'll ever have for working on these things, any kind of project, garage project, it's a 4.5-inch angle grinder. If you don't have one, get one. They make nice cut-off discs that you can put in here to cut through steel and all kinds of cabling and things like that. I mean, you want to cut a hole in the roof and just cut right on through. One thing I'll tell you, because I've been doing this kind of crazy stuff for a long time, if you're cutting or grinding with one of these around your van, watch where the sparks are going, because those sparks are actually pieces of hot metal that are flying off, and they'll burn into plastic and pit your paint and things like that. The worst is if it hits glass, because it'll pit the glass and stick to it. So you'll damage your windshield if you get the sparks from that on there. All right, something else. Oh, this is my collection of baggies and stuff that I was telling you I save. This right here is a product I wanted to touch on. I used this to glue that piece of plastic container lid up onto that Reflectix. You get a picture? This is made by Loctite. Loctite is one of the premier sealant manufacturers. You know, if you work in the automotive or trucking industry, you know Loctite. I mean, they make every kind of nut and bolt sealer and gasket sealer. So I was familiar with that. A friend of mine from Australia who was a home improvement contractor turned me on to this, God, I don't know, 10 years ago. But this is their PL3X stronger. This is awesome stuff. It's extremely strong. This contains polyurethane in it, and that's the difference. When you're looking at all the adhesives out there, if you're doing a job that requires something to do an extreme bond and a lot of strength involved, and you really need to bond some oddball products, you know, polyurethane based. Make sure whatever you buy says that on it if you're dealing with that kind of situation. I've actually glued steel to a concrete building, went to pull it off, and the concrete came apart trying to separate it. So you won't break that bond once it's in there. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for today. I think I touched on everything I was thinking about getting through to you guys with. Oh, something I wanted to point out too. If you're getting on the roof of your van, your camper, and you're working on solar or putting a storage rack up or a deck or whatever, you know, getting access up and down is one of the things. I found that I can get better reach and more height and things like that by leaning the ladder against the side. But I also made a discovery that wasn't real smart, because the ladder cut into my paint on the outside edge of the gutter in some spots where I leaned it up there. So I've got some repair work to do because of that. But what I ended up doing is I decided I was going to put some padding on there. So I pulled open my little box that's got miscellaneous rubber and stuff. That's a couple of old cheesy rubber flip-flops. And I just taped it around there, and that's excellent cushion. So it's not going to dig into my gutter paint anymore. So that's a tip some of you can use, you know, if you're doing that kind of stuff. Save yourself some trouble that I've got to deal with now. All right, I think that's pretty much it. So anyway, you know, give us a like. You know, if you enjoyed all this information, thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. I mean, this is what, 3 or 4, 6, number 6?
This is number 6 in 2 days.
We're just getting started. We're even still learning how to do these videos and things. So we're in the beginning stages, and boy, we got a long way to go still. Going to give a lot of information on this as we go along. So look forward to seeing y'all next time. Hey, if you got questions, comments, put them on there. I'll be happy to see if I can give you some help or answers. That's what we're here for. Take care. See you next time.